like to take this opportunity as Principal of North Penn High School to welcome you to North Penn High School's chapter of the National Honor Society induction ceremony. On behalf of all of us who work with you young people, faculty and staff, administration, our district office personnel, and our school board, we congratulate you as friends and as parents of these fine young people. I do need to explain to you why it took us 20 minutes to get seated instead of the 5 that we practiced. It's because we didn't take the tape off the seats. And see, if you take the tape off the seats, then everyone was to walk in the row according to where they were supposed to sit. But the good news is they figured that if they went around the other way, they had to walk through everyone so they'd still be in the same seats when we come through here. It's amazing. It made me feel pretty good to know that all that brilliance couldn't figure out to take the tape off. So, would you please just remove that tape from along there? We may be doing too good a job of obedience, but it is indeed a privilege to be with you this evening. The National Honor Society is one of our premier organizations, and not just because they're good people, but because they're good people in a giving way. You may or may not know that they perform a lot of service here at North Penn High School, and I am never ever afraid to call on Mrs. Turok and Mrs. Finnemeyer to ask the Honor Society to help us with whatever it is that we need to have done. So I'd like to commend Mrs. Finnemeyer and Mrs. Turok, commend all of you, and welcome you to our induction ceremony, and do enjoy your evening. Thank you.
I too would like to welcome you this evening, and at this time I'd like to introduce Mr. Twyford, who is the senior class assistant principal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As always, it is my pleasure to congratulate members of our senior class, and I am so pleased to congratulate the 29 new senior members that we will be inducting this evening. They will join the 76 members of the class of 1992, which were inducted last year. It's especially a privilege to congratulate them because they have done the second effort. They weren't up here last year, and they have done what they needed to in the areas of qualification to qualify this year. And to me, that is special. I can think of many times in my life that I may not have made it the first time, but the second time, or perhaps even the third time, I made it. And I hope that makes this evening even more special for each of you. They haven't just talked the talk, they've walked the walk. They didn't just say, I'd like to do well, or even I intend to do well. They've done it. And this proves it, this shows it, and they've done it in a number of areas. And we're extremely proud of them. Congratulations.
We also have Mr. Hines, who is the assistant principal for the junior class, and he would like to share some remarks with the junior members who are going to be inducted tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Finnemeyer. First of all, I want to begin to congratulate not only the students who are here tonight, but their parents, because I know from personal experience that that's a very proud occasion for you as parents. I think back to when I was in high school, and I need to just tell you a little bit of a story here so you understand what's going on. When I was in high school, my parents believed in educational segregation by sex. They sent me to an all-boys high school, and my sisters went to an all-girls high school. And in doing that, in the all-boys high school, we didn't have a National Honor Society, so I never knew what it was. Until my one sister came home and said she had been named to the National Honor Society in her school. And I remember my mother being very proud of that. And I remember my sister being very proud of that. And I didn't know what it was for, other than I thought it was because she had great grades. I didn't know at that time that there were 4 components, characteristics that belong to the National Honor Society. And she was pretty arrogant about it. she'd rub it in her noses every time that there was time for something to be done. She had studying to do. She was in the National Honor Society, and she needed to stay there. She needed to maintain those grades. So she got out of doing chores. She had an excuse for everything. It was always the National Honor Society. She had to stay after school because there was another component to this, the service component. And frankly, my initial reaction to the National Honor Society was, what kind of an elitist club is this? And then I had some younger sisters, and they got named to the National Honor Society. And they are more in keeping with what I've come to know as the characteristics of the National Honor Society. So my message to you tonight, the 81 juniors who are being inducted, and all the seniors who are being inducted and have already been in past years, I hope that you'll consider all 4 of those characteristics and live them in the way that my younger sisters did and not in the way that my other one did. She was pretty arrogant about it, really. And that's a message that you send to your friends, fellow students, and teachers. I know when we used to threaten her that we were going to go and tell her teachers what she was really like, my parents used to get very upset at that because my one sister would have done it. Keep that in mind. Be proud of your accomplishments, but be humble and live out all 4 of those characteristics. And parents, be proud too. And make sure that when you go home tonight, if you have younger students, let them know what all 4 of the characteristics were, what the criteria was for being named to the National Honor Society. And I hope that all of you will be able to live those characteristics out and be an honor to your school and to your parents and to yourselves. Good luck.
Welcome back, veteran National Honor Society members, and good evening, inductees. My name is Angela Wong, and my fellow speaker's name is Carl Sachs. The purpose of NHS is to create an enthusiasm for scholarship, to stimulate a desire to enter service, to promote worthy leadership, and to encourage the development of character in all the students in North Penn High School. However, these pillars are not to be limited to NHS alone, but must be included in the context of society and humanity. Within this greater context, the theme of unity through diversity may be discerned. For instance, the people you see before you tonight are all of different nationalities and cultures, yet they complement each other as they unite and work towards a common goal. If people were all the same, everything would be boring. We would be without conflict, creativity, and diversity.
At the same time, it is through our unity that we become diverse. For example, if we lived in our rooms, isolated, bereft of companionship, there would be no diversity because there would be no comparison to create differences. It is through society and with our interaction with new people, our unity, that our differences are created. Thus, we have 2 themes, unity through diversity and diversity through unity. They cannot stand alone, but cannot become a basis for society. This basis begins with the coming together of individuals from unique backgrounds. As a result, differences arise. The conflict that results gives rise to an energy that can become both destructive and creative. It is this energy which fuels action and from which unity is ultimately derived.
In conclusion, tonight is a celebration of both our diversity and our unity. With that, we turn this program over to our fellow speakers, Alan Tenney and Lisa Petrilli, to speak about the pillar of scholarship.
Good evening, and once again, welcome. Alan and I would like to extend our congratulations to our newest members of the National Honor Society.
One of the criteria that you fulfilled to be selected for the National Honor Society was that of outstanding scholarship, this being judged on the basis of your grade point average. While GPA is a convenient way to numerically evaluate your academic performance, it is just a number and cannot even begin to reflect your level of scholarship. Scholarship is more than a GPA. It's taking challenging courses to better yourself and grow. Scholarship is more than a letter grade. It's asking why things are instead of blindly accepting what you're taught.
What would the world be like if we were all taught to think exactly alike? We find diversity in every individual. Each of us learns differently and brings a different view to the classroom. Each of you excel in a different aspect of scholarship, whether it be math, English, art, or music.
Diversity in your scholarship is a goal to strive for, and hopefully your diversity will enrich both NHS and the other activities you participate in your lifetime. Again, Lisa and I congratulate you, and now I'd like to introduce Sagar Fatak and Jen Mulhall, who will be speaking on the Pillar of Service.
Of the four pillars, service is the one that society most often overlooks. But its importance must not be underestimated. Service is beneficial not only to the recipient, but also to the volunteer, because it can teach him that there is something beyond himself, and it can also help him relate to other people. This is something that members of National Honor Society understand.
Special Olympics have long been a tradition for North Penn High School's National Honor Society. It is a big service project which tries to involve all NHS members. NHS students help organize the day's activities and then aid the Olympians throughout the day, providing them with emotional and physical support. It is a wonderful experience for both buddy and athlete. The athletes put a lot of energy into their respective events, and it is truly a rewarding experience watching the Special Olympians achieve their goals. Peer tutoring, ESL students, is another important service for NHS. ESL stands for English as a Second Language, and the classes are comprised of new students who are learning the English language. Members help these students in all areas and try to help the students adapt to the United States of America and North Penn High School. In addition to the other services, NHS gives out scholarships each year to qualified seniors. Last year, the National Honor Society gave out 13 scholarships.
This year we have a new idea. We want to start a community service committee within NHS, and every service project that NHS participates in will originate in this committee. We've had some proposals already, which include working with children's hospitals or participating in a Big Brother, Big Sister program, and other things as global as Amnesty.
We do not know whether the new ideas will work, but we hope to add them to our list of services to the school and community.
Now I'd like to introduce Chung Lee and Jeremy Sklar, who will speak about leadership.
Leadership is a fundamental pillar of the National Honor Society. It has been the focus of much of our growth at North Penn High School. What is a leader? Leaders are individuals who accept a little less than their share of the credit and a little more than their share of the blame. So who makes a good leader? A leader is somebody with a goal, a plan to accomplish their goal, and followers who will aid in their success. It is essential that every group have a leader, but not every leader directs with the same style. Not one style is right for everyone. It all depends on your own character as well as the personality of your group. Fortunately for us, North Penn has opened many doors and given us numerous opportunities to develop our leadership skills. Throughout North Penn High School, it is evident that there is a wealth of bright young leaders as well as leadership potential. Whether it be in class, sports, clubs, or student government, everyone has the chance to shine.
Jeremy and I have centered our energies around the Student Government Association. We are co-activities coordinators this year, but we could not have succeeded in this incredibly demanding task without the proper guidance and preparation. Together, we have gradually climbed the leadership ladder. On our way to the top, we have learned that a leader needs to make decisions, act or react as the situation demands, and admit when he or she doesn't have all the answers. It takes dedication to learn how to motivate yourself as well as others, to communicate effectively, and to handle stress. Always remember that as a leader, you are a role model for your peers. Each of you has the potential to be a great leader. With time and dedication, you can develop your own unique leadership style. We have found leadership to be challenging yet extremely rewarding. Our society is filled with the need for effective leaders. Therefore, it is crucial as the future leaders of the nation that we seize every opportunity to enhance our leadership styles. Congratulations and good luck.
Next, we would like to introduce Josh Bernstein and Ritu Prasad to speak about the pillar of character.
The fourth pillar of the National Honor Society is character. Character forms the foundation of the other three pillars. There are many characteristics which combine to form a strong character. The first of these is the ability to respect different opinions. In a society as complex and diverse as today's, it is essential that one be able to keep an open mind and accept different ideas.
Another important aspect of a strong character is a desire to help others. As today's society becomes more interdependent, the need for people to help people becomes even greater.
A willingness to try is a third ingredient of a strong character. Achieving in any field requires a great deal of initiative and effort. Even if success is not assured, one must still be willing to try.
Charisma is another trait of a strong character. A person's charisma is his ability to generate enthusiasm and a sense of optimism from those around him. Charisma is a valuable component of character because it not only allows one to be a contributing member of a group, but to emerge as a leader of the group as well.
The ability to cooperate and compromise is another hallmark of a strong character. People are often called upon to work in a group setting. In such an environment, it is essential that one be able to understand the ideas of others and work to find common ground.
A strong character is also demonstrated by curiosity and creativity. One must constantly ask why something is some way. Curiosity inspires the mind to seek new knowledge and take on new challenges. It is this desire that motivates many young scholars.
The world today benefits greatly from the various contributions which different people bring to society. Having a progressive and dynamic character is one such way to make a contribution.
You have now heard the four pillars upon which you were judged, and we would like to congratulate you on your acceptance into the National Honor Society. We would now like to introduce Mrs. Barry Finnemeyer, one of the co-advisors of the North Penn chapter of the National Honor Society, to induct our new officers. Mrs. Finnemeyer.
In addition to this evening being a special evening for the new members who are sitting in the audience, it is also our opportunity to formally recognize the officers of the National Honor Society. These officers were elected by the senior members last May at the last meeting of the year. And since that time, they've been very busy in working to make this program this evening a great success. They have been planning other activities for the year, including an initial meeting in September, as well as the other activities that will follow. It's our opportunity this evening to formally recognize those 5 officers who are our officers for this year and to present them with a token of their office that they may wear with their National Honor Society pin. I'd like to call them to the podium at this time and present them with that formal token. Each one of the officers will receive a symbol of their office. Laura Johnson receives the gavel as president. Christy Maciolik receives the torch, which is the symbol of the Vice President. Amy Sarang receives the quill, the symbol of the Secretary. Kurt Campman is the keeper of the Treasury, and for this he receives the key. Jen Mulhall is our activities coordinator. She will receive a scroll symbolic of the list of activities that we will be involved with this year. As you can see, this is a very student-centered organization. The 5 officers here, the other seniors who've been involved on the stage as well as in the audience. And that's really, I think, a unique quality of the National Honor Society here at North Penn High School. It's not merely a stamp on your transcript, it's not a special seal that will appear on your diploma, or even a ribbon that you wear around your neck at graduation, but it's an active, alive organization involved in many activities, as you heard earlier. The other thing that's unique about the National Honor Society is that the actual selection of the members is done through a faculty council. And the faculty council met for several hours, I will tell you, over a couple of afternoons, spent a lot of time on their own, very, very carefully reviewing your activity resumes, the letters of recommendation written by various people in the community as well as at North Penn High School, and really spent a lot of time discussing and going over each and every individual who expressed an interest in the National Honor Society. And I really would like to thank those people who served on the Faculty Council for all of their time and their effort. Some of them could not be with us this evening because of family or professional commitments, but I would like to recognize the members of the Faculty Council. They include Dr. Bond, who is an ex officio member as the principal, myself and Mrs. Turok, who are ex officio members as co-advisors, Mr. Thomas Lemon, Mr. Jeffrey Marr, Mrs. Beth McPeak, Mrs. Sandra Stover, and Mr. Andrew Janaszek. And those that are here tonight, I'd like them to stand so we can recognize and thank them for their time and effort. I thank them for all of their hard work and their time and effort. And at this particular time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Mrs. Turok.
Mrs. Finnemeyer has just introduced the officers for the 1991-92 school year. Not only have these people been members in good standing for the past year, but also have worked on various committees and programs and activities that we have had. Their hard work and that of the other members is what has helped to make this evening possible. They have done the organization, they have done all the ordering, they have taken care of everything but the selection of the new members. That, as you heard, was done by the Faculty Council. To the new members, I say welcome. It is not only important that the seal appears on your diploma, or that the notation National Honor Society appears on your transcript. It is equally important that you become involved and participate in the programs and the activities. You are the society's future. It is with your help and your talents that we will be able to have another fulfilling, exciting year. We look forward to working with you and to getting to know you. Remember, here comes the bad news. You must attend 5 meetings this year in order to stay as an active member. I am very proud to serve as a co-advisor of the National Honor Society and have the opportunity to work with these fine young people. And I thank you for all of your support and for all the help that you have given them throughout the years, the encouragement. At this time, I would like to introduce President Laura Johnson and Induction Committee member Fran De La Paz, who will continue with the ceremony.
We'd like to start with the induction of the new senior members. Could row 1 please stand? Jin Bed. Kristen Adams. Kirsten Crescent. Sharon Chase. Catherine Crocker. John D'Angelo. Christopher Durstein. Darian Drissel. Tom Doe. Kirsten Edelmeyer. Jennifer Gibbs. Ted Gilisarian. Kelly Holcomb. Daniel Jones. Francis Nevels. Brian Marshall. Reagan McLean. Morgan McMillan. Dion Nguyen. Stephen Nice. Catherine O'Brien. Kunal Patel. Shavetta Patel. Emily Fillinger. Laura Scattergood. Kristen Schickling. Matul Shah. Dana Sullivan. Rachel Welbeck. And Noel Wolf. Next, we'll do the induction of the new junior members. Kristen Adams. Wendy Barrow. Diane Bassman. Stephanie Beck. Jessica Bernstein. Amanda Glee. Nicole Brechtel.
Chen.
Amy Suzelka.
David Comer.
Heather Cottrell.
Melinda Delvicio.
Stephanie DeMarco.
Rena Desai.
Mona Dar.
Noreen Downey.
Stuart Dodson.
Amy Endlick.
Larissa Fairfield.
Jeremy Bieber.
Jessica Fisher.
Deborah Fishman.
Jill Flango.
Stacy Garfinkel.
Anne Gavigan.
Christy Getman.
Alicia Gorin.
Christopher Granick.
Lauren Guthrie.
Sarah Ha.
Jennifer Hahn.
Matthew Harrington.
Charles Hawkins.
Minna Hom.
Amy Hoops.
Lori Kazin.
Amanda Calvistrad.
Nancy Com.
Hubert Law.
Sharice Lee.
Jason Luke.
Heather Mahoney.
Robert Martin.
Paul Martino.
Kate McCarthy.
Brian McGinty.
Kristen Moss.
John No.
Kelly Oakley.
Tracy Ostrowski.
Neha Patel.
Mark Patton.
Christy Mansman.
Aaron Questad.
David Rader.
Jennifer Rambo.
Scott Schwam.
Lori Schwartz.
Matthew Severin.
Neerav Shaw.
Anita Shea.
Mark Schott.
Jason Cecian,
Allison Smith,
Jeffrey Smith,
Brian Staley,
Jenny Strauzic,
Carrie Tatum,
Jenny Thorne,
Stacy Teeger,
Carrie Vanderslice,
Michael Viveros,
Suzanne Wagner,
Kristen Weber,
Ian Wilson,
Amy Yacobinas,
Andrew Yee,
Heather Ziegler,
Megan Karpak,
it looks like we forgot someone. Chitali Kubra,
Our speaker this evening has a few things in common with North Penn. Not only did his two sons, Kip and Justin, graduate from here, but he himself is a North Penn graduate from the class of 1963. Currently, he is Vice President for Coca-Cola, and his presentation will be tonight on what he calls organizational survival. Please welcome Mr. John Cole.
It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. I must go back in time to an earlier point before I go into my presentation. I was not a member of the National Honor Society. I flunked 9th grade at Ambler High School. I flunked 10th grade and repeated 10th grade at Ambler High School. I got kicked out of Ambler High School and came to North Penn. And in my second week at North Penn, I got kicked out. The school was against me. I was not a juvenile delinquent. I did not have problems. And I guess one of my closest friends, Dan Driscoll, that guided me to the mat in 25 seconds in 1963, has always been a special person. There are a lot of special people here tonight. The parents, the students, the new inductees, the teachers, all of you are so special. And I'm going to try to relate this to Kip and Justin, my two sons. I thank you for allowing me to be here tonight, and I'm going to work hard. I'm going to try to make something happen tonight and give you some of my inner thoughts. If we could dim the lights. I'm Vice President of Philadelphia Coca-Cola Bottling Company, and when I started here, they said, please do not advertise your product at all. So I did not want to advertise at all, but I do love my job. Human resources deals with the development and potential of the individuals that I hire. As Vice President, I want to talk about basketball. my love of basketball, but no, that didn't really go over too big. I wanted to talk about organizational survival. I wanted to talk about the commitment that you have to make to yourself to survive within this environment, both intellectually and physically, the things that you have to do in the real world as I do it. I could talk about the Marine Corps. I could talk about my 4 years in the Corps, jump school, explosive ordnance, teaching people how to detonate high explosives, and how, as a teacher in high explosives, everybody stayed awake in my class. I didn't know whether I was a good teacher, or did they realize in a half an hour they would be going out setting off Claymore mines or C4, or maybe I could talk about the responsibility of leadership. What is it like to go to jump school and pack your own chute? If it doesn't open on the way down, who are you going to be pissed off at? Reality smacks you in the face. And when I left North Penn in 1963 and on the buddy system with a lot of good friends from North Penn, and I got into Paris Island, they said I needed a vacation. I was going to an island. I had no idea what Paris Island was all about. These guys with funny hats on beating me upside my head. And then further, I went to this place called Okinawa, and at a very young, impressionable age, a Zen monk by the name of Shimbuto said, "Private John, how come when you enter a room you make so much noise?" Well, I was a Marine, I was gregarious, let's fight, let's kick some butt. And he said, "Private John, go stand in doorway." And I walked over and I stood in the door, and the Zen monk said, "Do you notice anything?" I said, "No." He says, "Private John, look around you, what do you see?" Door jammed. "No, Private John, you take up whole door. You don't have to say anything when you walk in room. You are already noticed." And the light bulb went on. I realized that my physical attributes could be used as a positive instead of a negative. And I realized that I could learn the big words for the things that I knew intuitively. So after 4 years in the Marine Corps, and marrying the girl that I went steady with my senior year at North Penn, Betsy, who I'm madly in love with, in 1962, we started going together. And then we got married in 65. I came back, went to the unemployment office in Lansdale, got a job driving a forklift, Philadelphia Coca-Cola Bottling Company. I ended up going to community college, Montgomery County Community College, where I later became trustee and treasurer, president of the Alumni Association, graduated with honors. I told the professors I needed remedial English, remedial math. I didn't do too well in high school. And I told the professors, if you flunk me, I'll blow your house up. I moved expeditiously through the community college, went on to Delaware Valley College in Doylestown, where I got a BS in business administration, then to Drexel, where I did an MS in statistics and human resources and psychology, and did some courses for a PhD. I think the echo within my mind is the ability to say that leadership, as I know it, is the one that's going to make the decision. It stops here. And as I look through life, I think of loyalty. Loyalty to yourself, loyalty to your family, loyalty to your God, your school, all those things that are so important, that are standards, that are important in the development of yourself as an individual. I look at integrity. Truth is the only lasting joy. Be truthful with yourself. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Snow White, you big goat. I knew I had a chance. And then I looked further. Dependability. Vince Lombardi. I'm going to be there 15 minutes ahead of time. I'm going to make sure I have everything prepared. I'm going to do a little bit extra than anybody else. I've got to work harder. I got to make things happen. I'm going to be decisive in my decisions. I'm going to say what I mean. I'm going to mean what I say. Some people are not going to like that in life, but I'm going to make it happen. I look at Kip and Justin taking their initiative. Kip going on to becoming an exchange student, going to Australia. I can remember Betsy saying, when he came in, "I'm going to go to Australia, Dad." You know how kids are. Okay, go ahead and apply. That was in September. October, he gets a letter to go down for consideration in Washington. I said, "Betsy, you better get ready. I think Kip's going to go to Australia. Oh, no, I don't think so. December comes, we get the notification. January 3rd, he's on the plane. And Betsy cried in the car all the way home. Parents, the child is the father of the man. I cried too. Off he went. And then Justin playing basketball, giving his whole body, his mind, the things that I couldn't believe, his determination of things that he wanted to do. That's initiative. And now they're both at Florida State University, doing great in schoolwork, doing great in community involvement, working hard. Initiative, that driving force that makes us different. Class of 1963, dare to be different. Get things done. Initiative. Self-esteem. Did I polish my shoes? Did I get myself a neat in appearance? Do I keep myself in a good posture? Am I strong? Am I sturdy? Do I do those things that are important to keep myself going in a very positive direction? Selfishness. Unselfishness. Boy, what a key. What can I do with all my talents? Has God given this gift of mine, this mind? Can I help somebody else come along the path? That's what I challenge you tonight. In your success, the challenge of helping somebody else develop. And then, justice. Justice is tough. Sometimes we wonder what's happening in the crime rate. Today, I just came back from Tokyo. Take Japan and take New York. The crime rate in 6 days in New York City equals the crime rate in Japan for a year. And the students go to school 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. And their homework assignments are given on TV, on the Weather Channel. Probability. When is the typhoon going to hit Osaka? What is the probability? I couldn't believe on the bullet train, students with lab computers doing their homework assignments. I was really excited. And I was saying to myself, this country is bound to continue to be great because we have so much talent and we have to keep going in that positive direction. Because endurance, the longest race that you're in, is the human race. And we must keep going and going and going. I'm sorry. I said Morris Massey out of the University of Colorado. He developed a theory called significant emotional events, learning through significant emotional events. You will remember the night that you became a member of the Honor Society. There's many people out in the audience, when I say high school graduation, certain things are happening in their minds. College graduation, certain things are happening. The birth of their first child. What was it like to bring Kip and Justin and allow them to go off to school? The tremendous things that we feel, how proud they are of you in your achievements, and telling your grandparents and your aunts and uncles and neighbors, oh yes, Billy's in the National Honor Society, and Debbie has all A's. I mean, it's unbelievable. Significant emotional events. And I'm trying to track that in your mind, to see within your mind the opportunities of learning and growing more and more. But there's a risk. There is a risk in life. If you decide to put a blindfold on and walk across the Schuylkill Expressway at 4:30 in the afternoon, there is a strong probability that you're going to get hit by a car. There is no doubt in my mind that there's reality. And I know what it was like. And again, this is a tough one to relate to. Memorial Day weekend, I was teaching at Drexel University, lecturing in their executive MBA program. I came home, and there's a note in the door. It says, please call Upper Grantham Police. Emergency. Kip and Justin were out merchandising, stocking shelves and Gennardi's and Acme and Clemens. And I thought, and Betsy looked at me, and she was crying. She said, one of the boys were in a car accident. And that goes through your mind because driving is a full-time job. And sometimes we take risks. We go through the yellow when it's really red. And I thought, yes, Betsy, you're not going to come and tell me that we won the lottery. Something has really happened. 35 minutes we waited for the police to arrive. The dispatcher did not tell us what was going on. Mr. Cole, the officer, is on the way. Unfortunately, my brother had been murdered in Doylestown. On one hand, I wanted to say to the officer why I was so happy. On the other, I knew my responsibility. All I wanted to do was to hug Kip and Justin. For that 35 minutes, I thought I had lost one. That special gift that God gave me, those two boys. What would happen if it happened to one of them? Another learning experience, significant emotional event, at risk. I make the decisions in my life, what I'm going to do, where I'm going to do. It's not my mother, not my father, not my brother, not my kid. It's my decision. And then M&Ms. I had to tell Kip and Justin, set up your meaningful and measurable goals. An acronym. Remember, meaningful and measurable goals. I'm going to graduate from college summa cum laude. I'm going to go to law school. I remember my favorite management book. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. The little engine that could. Don't ever stop. Keep charging. There's a lot of frustration out there. Finding a parking place here at school? Oh yeah. Try to get down to Philadelphia during Christmas. And if you think that's bad, try to get on the subway in Tokyo. Push you out of the way. They thought I was the Jolly Green Giant. They wanted to check my shoe size, my hands. How big are you? And I said, well, you should see my boss. He's Julius Erring, and if I want to raise, I got to beat him one-on-one. I'm in a lifetime freeze. But look at the frustration in life. What can we do to resolve the frustration? Because stress is out there. I got to get that homework assignment. I know I didn't do it all week long. I didn't study, but I know I've got an hour and a half before the test, and I'll do it. Stress, complete freedom from stress is death. And if you look in the hallways, I'm really, look at you walk down and you say, hi, how you doing? I'm all right. What are you doing tonight? Nothing. I got 16 videos. I'm going to show them on TV. And I'm saying, God, why can't we do more? And if that is, then stress is a spice of life. What can I do to make things happen? How can I solve the problem instead of being part of the problem? What negative can I turn into a positive? And yes, it's tough. I mean, if you go home and a tree has fallen on your car, or you live in Oakland during a firestorm, you lose, 1,800 homes, I don't expect you to come into work or into school the next day and go, I feel good. Because they're going to give you a white jacket like they gave me. Now, funny farm time. And so, remember, make it the spice of life. And then, remember Maslow. I think some of us have studied it. I know that Maslow said there were certain, in the hierarchy of needs, physiological traits of hunger, food, thirst, sleep, and sex. And I knew that I could never rise above that level because I could never go to sleep. And security, and social, and esteem, and power, and achievement, there are things that you want to do in the course of life. I had the opportunity 2 weeks ago to meet Mike Hoffman, Nintendo. I think he was the inventor of 24 years old. He was in the jewelry store on Maui buying a pin for his sister, I'll get the story straight. $45,000 in cash. Not too bad for a 23-year-old wizard. And Mr. Smogiaki, who owned the Grand Hyatt in a pair of shorts and a Dr. Pepper t-shirt. We were having a convention. I thought he was with Tony Coca-Cola. And I said, what are you doing here? Let me help you. He says, oh no, I own a hotel. He was around picking up trash and checking to make sure everybody was doing the job. I mean, that's dedication. And so Hertzberg said that the only way that I'm going to motivate you is through KETA, an acronym for kicking the ass. The only way that I'm going to keep you going is take my size 15 triple E's and just keep kicking. Now, I didn't do that to Kip and Justin. They challenged themselves. And then when I was in graduate school, I wrote a book, Colvism, Bohica. That's an acronym for Bend Over, Here Comes Again. I do do not go the great adventure and have a good time. Everybody keeps butting in front of me. And, you know, you drive down the Schuylkill Expressway and people are jumping out of their cars arguing about who cut out who. Last year, 3 times on the Schuylkill Expressway, a guy got out and shot somebody. Because now I drive like this. Go ahead, you cut me off. No problem. And we grow older, our hair gets grayer, and we think, geez, I'd just like to get through the traffic. And so, please remember, these things are going to happen to you in life. Not Murphy's Law. What are you going to do to change it? And then make that commitment to yourself that you're going to be the best at what you want to be. Make that decision within yourself that every day you're going to start off a new day, that you're going to help somebody. You're going to do something a little better to grow. They are the real fun and enjoyment of life. Create those standards within yourself. The commitments, the neatness, the attitudes. I did not say be perfect. You'll go crazy trying to be perfect. Strive for excellence. I heard that at North Penn many times. One of the top high schools in the country. My 2 boys owe an awful lot to this school. I owe an awful lot to North Penn High School. It's been a tremendous journey. And commitment to excellence is within yourself. And then understand competition. They'll go out there to get you. I know who my competition is. Michael Jackson. Ray Charles. Do you know what it's like to have all Kip and Justin's friends come over and at Christmas they bring me cans of Pepsi? They send me Pepsi t-shirts. You know, I can accept that. But, you know, competition for your girlfriend, your boyfriend, parking places, grades, curves, teachers that may not like you because you wear glasses, people that may not like you because you're a different color skin, or white, black, red, yellow. We gotta work harder to bring forth the Rainbow Coalition. It's exciting to see what's happening around the world. In the last 18 months, New Zealand, Australia, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Japan. I never dreamed that as a forklift operator, I would be giving presentations around the world. Never dreamed that I would have the honor to come back in front of my high school and talk to the National Honor Society. What a privilege. And to think that maybe somewhere out there is a mentor, a Jim Crawford, or a Danny Driscoll, or a Tom Lemon. Somebody in my life that helped me understand the direction. Now you gotta seize it. You gotta walk along the path. You gotta find the mentors that are gonna give you the answer for the opportunity to walk this traveled highway of life. On either side, it's your opportunity. The difficulty is the choice, and failure is the practice essential for success. It's that simple. And then growth, both intellectual, philosophical, all that comes in time. The Marine Corps did not teach me big words. Small words, begin with F and stuff like that, you know, get down nasty. It was all those great things like C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia. Or was it Wadsworth? Or, you know, I think, therefore I am. All these things are going through my mind, and I was excited about it. Education, the real value of education is the ability to educate yourself. Read more, learn more, do more, associate with positive people, read positive books, do positive things. You know what's going to happen to you in the end? You're going to be positive. And people are going to say, how come you're always so happy? I drink Coke. Success, let me just say, success is a journey, not a destination. Listen to everyone. Act enthusiastically about your life. You're only here for a short time. I challenge you to challenge your job, your education. Strive for excellence. Do it yourself. And in conclusion, success is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing trip, an opportunity that all of us have. I thank you for affording me the opportunity to be here today. send their regards. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm worried about the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. You said it was an honor to come here to speak for us, but it was an honor to hear you speak tonight. Thank you. Tonight, each one of the National Honor Society new inductees received a pin in the shape of a torch. To the National Honor Society, the burning torch represents knowledge, commitment, and hope. To many, tonight's ceremony may seem to be the culmination of many years of dedication to knowledge. But in fact, tonight we have only sparked the flame of knowledge that hopefully will continue to burn inside each one of us throughout our lives. It is a National Honor Society tradition to conclude the induction ceremony with a candle lighting ceremony to symbolize the passing of the desire to learning on to others. As we pass the flame from member to member, notice that each flame burns differently, as each one of us is unique. Even after we have blown our candles out, may the light of knowledge and hope remain lit and burn brightly inside each one of us. Could the senior members please come forward? We're going to have the senior members lead the junior members in the pledge while our candles are lit.
National Honor Society pledge. I pledge to always seek the light of truth, to hold scholarly habits, to engage in worthy service, to maintain an untarnished character, and to lead in all things that advance the welfare of the school. In this way, I will prove myself worthy of a place in the National Honor Society. Thank you all for coming. When the lights are back on, there's a reception in the main lobby sponsored by the AAUW. You're all invited. Thank you for coming out tonight. Good night.